Bitcoin is right now breaking down of its very important and critical support. And yes, this is something I have been discussing in my most recent videos. And right now I want to be going in depth about this correction we're currently seeing. How bad is it actually on the bigger things of it all? Are we right now seeing a distribution for Bitcoin right here? Or is this just going to be a very important retest of previous resistance that is now going to be flipping into support? So I am going to be exactly discuss this. I'm going to discuss the most important charts on Bitcoin. I'm going to talk about the M2 global money supply. I'm going to talk about October, which is historically the best month for crypto in history. I'm going to be talking about the cycle top and of course exactly about the timings, because if we're looking at history right now here, before the Bitcoin bull market top is actually going to be in here. So I'm going to give a big update on my trade. I'm going to give you guys an update on how Ethereum is looking, because we are right now seeing a breakdown of this region. So this and so much more will be getting discussed on today's update video. Subscribe to the channel, slap that like button back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated. And let me jump straight away in today's update video. So Bitcoin is now breaking below this very important upward sloping support line. Previously around, we've been retesting this level. Now we broke below it. And ever since we actually broke below this level, we are right now seeing this slight little continuation towards the downside. And of course, this scenario I have been already talking about in all my most recent videos, that I said, actually, I think Bitcoin is going to be moving down back towards this very important box of support, which is laying around 113,000 to about 112,000 US dollars. Because not only there was a lot of liquidity laying around that level, and I said already in my previous videos, either we're first going to be grabbing the liquidity on the top side or on the lower side, and then of course we're going to get that move towards the other direction. So there's still a lot of liquidity laying around $119,000 to $18,000, but now we're first grabbing the lower side liquidity before ultimately grabbing that liquidity on the top side. And I think Bitcoin is most likely going to be moving down ever so slightly lower. If it does come lower back towards that $112,000 level, I honestly will see this as a major opportunity to take advantage from. So Bitcoin is ultimately, if you're going to be zooming out here, retest this very important level that previously around acted as major support for Bitcoin. Also, if you extend this level here, you can see over here, this also acted as resistance. Then over here as well, acted as support. Here flipped into resistance. You can just see this level sees a lot of significance if we're looking back at history. So this level for sure is going to be a critical zone for me to watch. And in the case we're actually going to be breaking below this level, then I am definitely going to be worried. And then I will start to say this has been clearly then a distribution pattern on Bitcoin. And we're then most certainly going to be seeing a bigger correction towards the downside. And in my opinion, if we break below this green box right here, I'm going to be exiting my trades here, because then most likely Bitcoin is just going to be moving below this low again here. So that is important to understand. If that is going to be happening, I am strongly going to be considered that this is potentially already the top of the bull market, because also if I'm looking at the data, if I'm looking at all the previous bull markets, all the timings, etc., we of course don't have a lot of time left here in this Bitcoin bull market. So we should always consider that this could be, of course, a fact in the market right now here. I mean, for now on, it still is looking very good here. In my opinion, we're still most likely going to get another move towards the upside. But also, if I'm, of course, looking at the weekly time frame for Bitcoin, there's just something very obviously happening right now. And that is, of course, we're creating these higher highs right now on the weekly time frame. Well, in fact, the RSI is still creating lower highs. So there is still a clear loss of momentum on higher time frames. And that is why I remain to be saying, okay, you have to understand, we are at the end stage of the cycle. Historically, this market shouldn't be going up for much, much longer. And if I'm also right now looking just at the weekly time frame and its momentum index, it does make a lot of sense that the Bitcoin bull market top is going to be in anytime soon here. And personally, I still think it's going to create a slight little high here, just like it did here in 2021. Just that slight little grab higher to fool out everyone, think that there's going to be another run higher, and then peak out here. That is, of course, also where I want to be exiting my trades here. So I remain to be long on my positions. I remain to be thinking that, of course, this level right here could be a major level of support. I think it is most likely going to be a major level of support, but if we break below it, it is obviously going to be invalidating, and we could start to be worried ever so slightly. But of course, I want you to understand the top is still very, very close, but is not in yet here. And if you want to be staying... And of course, if you want to be trading yourself here just like I am doing, and if you want to be taking the best trades with, of course, the cheapest fees, make sure to check out WeX in the link description of today's video. Because right now, if you sign up an account using the first link in today's video description, you will not only get a 25% fee rebate, it is already quite a cheap exchange, and you get the 25% fee rebate. You will be trading on the cheapest exchange out there. And on top of that, they're going to be matching your deposits with 20% bonus. So let's say you deposit $10,000. You will get a $2,000 bonus to your account rewarded. And with that bonus, you can trade here. So guys, if you're interested in trading and want to grab an insane deposit bonus, go to the first link in today's video description. It is definitely very, very valuable. And of course, if you want to be staying up to date on all the trades I'm currently taking, and of course, if you want to be staying more up to date about the market, I would also recommend to join the second link in today's video description, which is of course my private group here, where I am giving even more updates on the market. And yeah, of course, if something very breaking happens or very critical happens, or I'm opening up a new trade or whatever, yeah, you can stay up to date over there here. And of course, my Optos trade is now in a side of loss here, but I've set up multiple orders. So in my opinion, there's nothing to worry about this here. But yeah, Bitcoin is just seeing an ever so slight correction, but it could come down ever so slightly lower. So make sure to be prepared for that. Then also, I want to be questioning and talking a little bit about the Bitcoin dominance and altcoins, etc. So looking at the Bitcoin dominance, we still see that rejection on the bigger scheme of things. Ultimately, we're creating another bear flag pattern, which is, in my opinion, inevitably going to be breaking down here. And if I'm looking on the ETH BTC chart, we're right now seeing a breakdown of that symmetrical triangle I've been talking about, but now it is coming back towards this horizontal level of major previous resistance I talked about also many times before here. And of course, last time around, we also seen this major bounce towards the upside from off this region right here. So like I also said before, the triangle can be breaking out, but only is confirmed whether we break above the highs or the lows here of these daily levels. Then on the 4 hourly time frame, Ethereum is right now also seeing this major breakdown of this symmetrical triangle. We broke the upper sloping support line, which is in my opinion quite bad here. But ultimately, we are still in this waiting room here on the bigger time frame, right? So actually, I should be drawing it like this. You can see we're creating a major consolidation phase here. We're trading at all-time highs here, and we're just still in this middle of this consolidation phase here. Honestly, it is, in my opinion, quite worse that we are seeing Ethereum come back towards this level. But ultimately, if you look at an horizontal zone here, you can see, okay, this is a level where we bounced from many times before. So in my opinion, only if we break below this box right here, that is going to give us the confirmation we're going to be breaking down. And one of the reasons why Ethereum has been a little bit less strong recently is that the aggressive buying from all these spot ETF companies has slowed down ever so slightly, right? You can see it on this chart right here. First, it was going exponential, and now it's slowed down here. So interesting to see that happening, of course, here. But now there are no significant inflows. And that, of course, is not really supporting the Ethereum price of this moment of time right now here. So ultimately, we are seeing that, of course, the volatility is extremely low in the market. And usually after prolonged periods of low volatility, we tend to see high volatility return here. But ultimately, Bitcoin also, we're in a major consolidation phase. And yeah, liquidity is being built up on both directions. We're grabbing the liquidity. And ultimately, if we're also looking back at October is one of the most historical bullish months for crypto in general. And whenever this is going to come, of course, we're going to be seeing more volatility. Because also, if we look back at historical data, September is usually one of the worst months in terms of volatility. And October, November, December are the best ones. So big volatility is for sure about to hit the markets. So make sure to be prepared for that here. But anyways, this is my take from the market. I think it's a very important update video you need to be watching. Share this video with your friends and family if you did learn something from it. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date here. And yes, guys, don't forget to join the private Telegram group if you want to be staying more up to date on the entire market. So this was it for me in today's update video. Subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.